when he came into Medina, first time, what was he riding? Guess what? That camel, right? Was it a normal camel? Huh? What was he riding there? Whoo! Probably rode into Medina on a white camel. Come on now. Praise be to Allah. But his head was down, and he was crying so much that his tears were soaking the neck of the camel. So when you're in your Rolls Royce, just be humble. Hey, it don't look like that. Humble don't look like that. I'm sorry. You know us and humor. We're gonna. It's just in the DNA. That's right. But the point is that if we have a taste of paradise in this life, which is what God promised, what does that look like? What does a taste of paradise in this life? What does it look like? So don't run away from wealth and money and living in good zip codes. It's all right to live in a good zip code. MashaAllah. Okay, where am I? Al-Ghazali believed, okay, you reap the full harvest based on their faith. Al-Ghazali believed that the cycle of life started with the educating your young children, allowing them to choose their own path of learning. That's a very big thing we don't have time to elaborate on. Very big thing. Then they would go out into society to fulfill their chosen goals, and hopefully when they died, reap the bountiful harvest based on what they had sown. So that's the paradigm of Islamic education. The paradigm of Islamic education is, life, the best life possible in this world, and the best life possible to support the best life possible in the life that comes hereafter. And understanding that, and I'll just read this note, and I'm going to have to just cut out so I can leave some time for your comments, but I do have to say again, I will have to leave practically immediately after we finish. But the note there on curriculum, right? The note on curriculum. Here's another author speaking from I think it's from the same source, speaking about curriculum. It says, generally speaking, curriculum is what made up the information you learned in school. But, and this is a very important qualification, but there is no single universally accepted definition for what comprises a curriculum. See, there's a curriculum that the modern world society has a paradigm for curriculum that has been laid out for us. And we've accepted that, and that's the paradigm as it operates right now. That's how it is. Just like school starts in September and gets out in June, generally speaking, that's a paradigm. Why? Because it's based on the agricultural model. There was a time when, you do the planting. You do the planting, now go to school, and then when it comes time to harvest, you got to be out of school, right? The industrial model, the model that was set up by Henry Ford, right? Henry Ford, the assembly line education. That's the way that our education is set up. It's set up on the assembly line. They put you in nursery school, kindergarten, and then you go to the first grade, and then we just keep moving you along until you get out in the 12th grade or what have you. And they just keep adding stuff to you, just like that automobile frame. And so when you get out, you have been constructed in the way we wanted to construct you. It didn't have anything to do with your nature and what that potential was. It was just about preparing you to be used in the machine that's already set up. All right? So that's why when you get a Betsy DeVos in the Trump era and the other people really coming in to dismantle the Department of Education, trying to remove it as a cabinet position and trying to, exhaust or take away funds and resources, et cetera, from it. Because in the world as it's established right now, they don't need the education that they give to the people in the society now. That's just a time taker. Listen, keep your children in school. You young people stay in school, whatever. But the point is that the role that education originally in the industrial era was intended to play is obsolete now. It's obsolete. But remember, it's still a business. So there's still money to be made from it. Y'all know anybody that says, no, you can't get rid of this shoe. There's still some money to be made off this thing. Y'all know anybody like that? I know it ain't the real thing, but shoot, there's too many people. I can still get money from this. Like fossil fuels. Fossil fuels. You know how that goes, right? You got people who have already created inventions that you can get more than 100 miles a gallon off that. But the big boys bought it, put it on the shelf because too much money to be made from the oil that's still coming out of the ground. We know we have the technology to make all this fossil fuel obsolete. And we know what's happening to the ozone, but we ain't worried about that. It's about that money. Well, same things happen with education. I'm going to have to cut off right now. This is just the exposure, the beginning, the principle involved. So let me just thank you and say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah. Now, let me take any questions, comments that you have. Imam, I do need you to look out for me on that, on those recordings. Elijah, what you just hit me with? You just hit me something that relates to what we're talking about. Go ahead, give the essence of what you're saying. It's okay.
Basically, there's an article that just came out today about a 11-year-old who graduated from college.
You need that? There's an article about an 11-year-old that graduated from college. Right. And so that's remarkable, right? I'm saying to us, I thank you for the support. I'm saying for us, we need to understand that should become something that approaches a norm for us. Because there's just really no saying what our generations are capable of. It's open, so make sure let's not neglect the sisters over here. Any questions, comments, or the like? Okay, Naima. Alaikum salam. Take the mic, please.
Comments you've made for the last couple of days have really hit home with me. I have a 20-year-old grandson who has completed maybe, I guess, a year and a half of college. His major is computer engineering, I think. And he is so taken aback of what's happening that he is becoming completely disillusioned by that educational system. He said it's a waste of his time. It's not addressing his needs. It's not taking him where he wants to go. So we had a conversation the other day, and all I could say to him was just be sure to keep moving forward. You know, if this isn't working for you now, please make sure that you have all the pertinent information you need to make your decision about your life changes. But meanwhile, you know, there are other certifications and things that he says he can work on, but it just amazed me. Just everything he was saying and thinking, you hit this weekend, and he just got there.
MashaAllah. Alhamdulillah. That's good. It's because he's still alive as a human being. That's a blessing. And so I think what you're saying and suggested to him is the right thing to do. Do them in tandem. Do that to get whatever paper, credential, whatever can be had for that, but pursue your own so you can self-educate and you can advance your own knowing, because the environment is saturated with sources of information. You don't have to wait till the professor brings it to you.
Absolutely. Just
go get it. So yeah, him to hold on, follow it, pursue his own orientation. And I have to run it real quick, but I have this five-letter principle that I tell all the adults and young people. BLISS, follow your bliss. B is believe that you have something in you that is from God that is not like that in anyone else but you. God doesn't run out of gifts. So God has gifted all of us. To each is a goal to which Allah is turning, or to which He is turning, so strivers in the race towards all is good. 2:148. So first believe, and then you have to locate. Locate means that what is that? What is that? Where is God's blessing in me? And once you find that, where is God's blessing in me, then the next thing is institutionalize. What do you mean institutionalize? Even Muhammad Ali had a trainer. Tiger Woods had a coach. It has a coach. Serena Williams, she also has a tennis coach, etc. right? So it's like, even though you may have the natural talent, you still have to institutionalize that talent in order to make it go further according to what its real potential actually is. So believe it, locate it, institutionalize it, meaning find the discipline for it. Whatever it is, what is the discipline for this thing that you find as your special God's gift to you? Next thing is specialize. Specialize means that you don't try to be all things to all people. You have to specialize. You have to focus. This is my area. This is my focus. This is my gift. That's what I'm going to focus on. Then you specialize. After you specialize in that thing that you have institutionalized, that you have located as a blessing from Allah, well, then success is automatic. Success is just the natural result of realizing those first 4 steps. Believe that there's a gift from God in you, locate what that gift is, institutionalize that gift, specialize in that particular gift, meaning that when they look that up in the dictionary, you want them to see your face there, because you become the definition of whatever that specialist or specialization is, and then success is automatic. Alhamdulillah. Next, anybody else? Yes, sir. Just he's going to bring the mic there.
Earlier, when you mentioned about when the students come into the classroom or the teachers there, do the teachers see that potential?
Right.
And when you say that voice comes up that I hear quite often. Mm-hmm. We're all cracked vessels. We're broken. And right away, that stops your progress if you buy into that. And you hear that all the time, quite a bit coming into society.
Horrible thing. Those are people that don't believe in the human nature. They don't believe there's anything in the human nature. To err is human, and to forgive is divine. I'm only human, born to make mistakes. They write songs about it. They do posters and everything about it. Just lies, beautiful lies that they tell. And so that's why we have to, the Islamic paradigm has to be where Imam has something in the back there.
So, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Partially in response to Sister Naima's comment, I was speaking to a youth just the other day, and something that Imam Muhammad mentioned a long time ago when I was in college helped me. He said that we have to see our education, the going to college as a means to get out of it what we want to get out of it.
Yes.
So I recharacterized it, and I told a young person it's a key. That's all it is.
Yes.
Now you said you can go get the same knowledge in the library, but if I'm a business and I'm a consultant, you can know more about my subject, you can know more about my field, but when I'm trying to get business, if you don't have the credentials, you can know 3 times as much as me.
Right.
But because I have the credential, I'm going to be able to open up certain doors and get through those doors.
Exactly.
And this is what I was sharing. So you just see it as a key.
Exactly.
And each level just unlocks new doors.
Absolutely.
Now, once you get in the door, you make it yours.
Absolutely.
You do with it. You do with it what you want to do with it. You change it how you want to change it.
Yes.
But if you don't have the key, there's certain doors because of the way business is done and the way certain industries are run. If you don't have those keys, you're not going to be able to get in the door.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Absolutely. Alhamdulillah. Thank you. I have nothing to add. So, that's it. Anybody else? Because I'm going to be walking out of here in the next 10 minutes or so, inshallah. Yes, ma'am.
What became of the Muslim Teachers College that used to be outside Richmond, Virginia?
Mashallah. It kind of went the way of so many other things. The associates of the Imam, we couldn't sustain it. We didn't follow through on so many other things that the Imam has given us. We just weren't ready, in reality. That readiness and everything. The only way, QA, you got anything particular you can add to that Teachers College non-existence? The Teachers College. She asked what happened to it. It's Sedalia, yeah. Oh, the Virginia. That's
the one in Virginia.
That's another story. I got you.
Yeah, that's it's still going. What you call it has put it online more or less. Dr.
Kadir Salar.
Kadir.
Kadir.
You know, he's still going. The